Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to do one more update. I filmed a couple videos today. This is the last video for today. You're going to be seeing it on a different day, but I wanted to do a 10,000 mile update on the Subaru WRX. A little background for my non-subscribers. I drive a 2015 Subaru WRX Limited CVT. Big uproar. Yes, this is my daily driver, my commuter. Anyone in Boston that drives more than 2 hours in traffic will completely understand, or any other city. Not going to defend it. So let's talk a little bit about what it was like to have this thing and what it is like to have this thing for 10,000 miles. And I've gotten to that point in a pretty short period of time, so I've done a lot of driving this car. I know all the ins and outs, all the quirks, and let me tell you about them. Before we get started, guys, if you want to see more automotive content and especially WRX content, be sure to subscribe to the channel and click that little notification bell, because I know a lot of you guys aren't seeing the posts about my videos. So yeah, 10,000 miles in a nutshell. Probably 3 or 4 things come to mind there. The first, great gas mileage. I mean, I really was not expecting that. On my trips to work, I'm averaging like 33 to 36 miles to the gallon, and that's in traffic. That's in like stop and go traffic. Sometimes it's worse than others. On the really hot days where it's really bad traffic and it's weird, where you're like speeding up, slowing down, speeding up, slowing down, I'll get like 30 miles to the gallon, and that's of 93. So I think the first takeaway is the gas mileage on this is incredible. I had a Genesis Coupe before, which was like, you know, that's a cheap sports car. You're not getting a lot of bang for buck. Well, you're getting a lot of bang for buck as your first car and your first entrance into, like, I drive a sports car. You know, they're not very fast. They're pretty cheaply made. But regardless, you do anything to that car and you tank the gas mileage. I went from making like 26 miles to the gallon stock on a 2-liter turbo. I did a little bit of like work. You know, I did the intercooler. I did a bunch of stuff, and I was down to like 14 miles to the gallon of premium, and I was insane. At that point in my life, when I was, you know, just starting college, it was like sapping my wallet. So thumbs up to Subaru for the gas mileage on this car. The second thing that really comes up with owning this car after 10,000 miles that really bothers me, that probably bothers a lot of you guys out there, is the stupid sound system in this car. I spend a lot of time in this car. I like music, I like audiobooks. Audiobooks don't matter as much, but I like enjoying and listening to music. Now I have the Limited, which still had the terrible stock head unit. I'm not even going to show it to you guys, it's so bad. It's not the Starlink, it's not that. But that doesn't really matter. The big thing that matters is that the fact that you can go from a terrible sound system to the Harman Kardon, the HK sound system, and that there's no in between. It sucks. Like, this system for regular cars isn't terrible. But thinking that my car sold for like $37,000 new, it's insane that this is the sound system that came with it. So the last big thing, my last like gripe here that comes to mind when I think of the 10,000 mile review is just how hard it is to keep this car clean, detailed, and everything. I'm not talking about the interior of the car. That's easy. It's like any other car. I'm talking about the exterior. Now, this color is great. I waited 7 months to find this color, find this car, find everything that I wanted in the car, find something in good condition. And I've got to say, it holds up like a black car. And I've got the dark gray metallic. It's really hard, one, to keep it clean. It looks dirty after like nothing. Second off, whomever owned this car before me, you know, they probably didn't clean it the way you were supposed to, because there are a lot of swirl marks and stuff like that. That doesn't mean they took bad care of the car. It just means that they weren't super vigilant on how they were cleaning it, and maybe they were only taking it to the dealerships. And we all know that if you take your car to the dealership and they clean it, you're going to get swirl marks. It's going to be awful, stuff like that. So I spent a lot of time working with the paint, working with it, polishing, waxing, all that type of stuff to work on those swirl marks. And I've got to say, it's just an uphill battle. It's going to take a long time for me to get there and do all that stuff. The other big gripe kind of tied in with that is the thickness of the paint and the clear coat. It's probably normal. You're probably getting that 4mm paint clear coat thickness, and that's pretty standard for the industry. I think the minimum is like 3.8 coming out of the factory or something like that. Not entirely sure. Don't quote me on that, but something like that. But the thing is, and everybody out there that owns WRXs will agree with me, is that, you know, you get hit with a rock on the highway so long, you're getting a paint chip. There's no in between there. Like the smallest things will take paint on this thing, and it is so hard to maintain. I think, like, the thing is I don't do fast highway driving, so it's not something that I should be worried about. But every once in a while I go fast, and I'm telling you, the paint, like, you can get rock chips on the highway so easy on this car that I'm going to have to do a clear bra for mainly traffic driving. And that's just insane, you know. That's tough for my time. And I think, like, when I think clear bra, I might just wrap the car. Like, why not? Like, I might wrap it for the summer and then do a clear bra for the, you know, the winter, something like that. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see what happens. But those are my gripes. Everything else is positive. It's been a great car. If you guys follow my channel, everything I talk about is typically good. I sometimes I highlight the few things that I dislike about the car, or like the quirks that are bad about the car. But again, like, I think like what's important here is I love this car. It's the best car that I've ever owned. The chances of me not having a CVT WRX in my driveway in the long term are really low. I think, like, as long as they make these, I'm going to have one. Actually, let me step back for a second. I may not have a CVT WRX. I will have an automatic WRX. You know, if they come out with a DSG or an automatic transmission, obviously I'm going to prefer that more than the CVT transmission. Not to say the CVT transmission isn't bad. I just prefer not to use a CVT because you can put more power into an automatic or a DSG. So yeah, so let's make that a kind of a short 10,000 mile recap. I don't really want to talk about much more. Those are my 3 gripes. I think for a lot of you, if you look at the ownership of a car, if those are the 3 things that you're complaining about, you have a pretty darn good car. Yeah, and there's not a lot to outline. It's great performance. Everything's great. So yeah, if those are the 3 things that you're complaining about, you've got a pretty damn good car. But yeah, I'm gonna end this video kind of short. Drop in the comments below if there's anything more about my car that you are interested in hearing about, or if you have similar problems like the paint and stuff. Tell me what you want me to do so I can do it to show you guys if it works or not. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys.